Hi, I'm Ric Edelman. Many people don't understand mortgages. They think they're risky. The truth, though, is that mortgages are a great financial tool, if you use them right. We're talking about the 11 reasons to carry a big, long mortgage. Here are the first 3. Number 1, your mortgage doesn't affect your home's value. You thought your home would rise in value over time, right? Well, guess what? Your home's value will rise or fall regardless of whether you have a mortgage. And that's why owning your home outright is having money buried under a mattress. If you pay off your home, all that equity is tied up in your house where it's not earning any interest. Having a long-term mortgage lets your equity grow with your home's value. Reason number 2, a mortgage won't stop you from building equity in the house. Mortgages are bad, people say, because the bigger the mortgage, the lower your equity. They're wrong, and here's why. Say you buy a house for $300,000 with a down payment of $50,000. After 20 years of paying your mortgage, you'll have added about $100,000 in equity. That's a lot of money. But if your house rises in value at the rate of 3% a year, you'll have nearly $250,000 in new equity, even if your principal balance never declines. A third reason to have a big long mortgage is this: a mortgage is cheap money. The cheapest money you'll ever be able to borrow, in fact. Just compare the rate of a mortgage to that of a credit card. Credit cards charge high rates because they have a higher risk of not being repaid. They have no collateral. Visa can't repossess a sweater that you bought. But mortgages have collateral, your house, and that reduces the bank's risk so that they can loan the money for much less and in much larger amounts. Reason number 4, your mortgage interest is tax deductible, and reason number 5, mortgage interest is tax favorable. These 2 points are related. Let me show you why. Interest you pay on a mortgage is tax deductible, up to $1 million. The deduction is taken at your top tax bracket. If you're in the 35% tax bracket, every dollar you pay in mortgage interest saves you 35 cents in federal taxes. You save on state taxes too. Let's say you're in the 25% bracket and your mortgage rate is 7%. That means the loan costs you 5.25% after taxes. And here's the best part. When you earn profits from investments, those profits are taxed at only 15%, maybe even less. And that means if you invest money and earn 7%, your profits are taxed at only 15%, your after-tax profit is nearly 6%. Even if your investments earn no more than what you pay for the mortgage, you're still making a profit after tax. And here's reason number 6. Mortgage payments get easier over time. If you have a fixed-rate loan, the payment stays the same for 30 years, but your income will probably rise. And that means, relative to your income, over time, your payment gets easier and easier. Reason number 7. Mortgages allow you to sell without selling. If you're afraid that your home's value might fall, you should sell your house before that happens, or at least refinance to get the equity out. Reason number 8. Mortgages allow you to invest more money and to invest it more quickly. And reason number 9, mortgages allow you to create more wealth than you otherwise would. Let's say you make $300,000 when you sell your old house, and you're ready to buy a new home for $500,000. Should you use all your cash and make a $300,000 down payment, or should you place only $50,000 down? With the bigger down payment, your monthly payment will be around $1,300. With the smaller down payment, though, it's closer to $3,000 a month. So you think you should put down the $300,000 to get that lower payment? Not so fast. Choosing between the big payment and the small one is the wrong question. You should be asking if you should invest $250,000 right now or $1,700 a month for the next 30 years. Assuming an 8% return, the larger investment right now will produce higher profits compared to investing slowly over time, which means that while a low mortgage payment lowers your overall expenses, it also lowers your overall wealth. Reason number 10. Mortgages give you greater liquidity and flexibility. To help you understand this, let's pretend that you and your neighbor are both buying a $250,000 house. You each make $75,000 a year and you each have $50,000 in savings. Your neighbor hates mortgages. He takes out a 15-year loan with a fixed interest rate of 6.75. He uses his $50,000 as a down payment, and then he sends in an extra $100 a month to pay that sucker down even more. Unlike your neighbor, you know that mortgages are a great tool. So you take out a $237,500 30-year fixed-rate mortgage at 7%, and you invest the difference. You never make extra payments. Compared to you, your neighbor has a smaller mortgage, a shorter mortgage, a lower interest rate, and he's adding money to every payment. You've got a smaller payment though, $1,600, most of which is interest. Assuming you're in the 25% tax bracket, that means your payment costs you $1,200 a month. Your neighbor pays almost $1,800 a month. but less of it is deductible. His after-tax cost is $1,500, and this is where your smarts come through. Every month, you pay $300 less than your neighbor. You invest that money. Instead of sending the money to a lender with an extra $100 a month, you invest that too. And after 5 years, let's say that you both lose your jobs. Your neighbor has a big problem. Even though he owes less on his mortgage balance, he doesn't have any money in cash reserves to help him make his current payment. But you don't have that problem. With the money you invested every month and the money you invested instead of spending it on the down payment, you've got a nest egg of about 80 grand, assuming a hypothetical 8% return on your investments. You can afford to make your mortgage payment for years, even without a job. It doesn't matter that you owe more on the total mortgage balance. When you keep control over access to your money, you maintain liquidity. When you give your money to your lender, you lose control. After giving money to your lender, the only way to get the money back is to sell the house. And no bank will let you refinance if you're unemployed with no assets. So stop listening to those who pretend that the only thing that matters is paying off your mortgage. Your life is more complicated than that. And by realizing this, you see that trying to pay off the mortgage is actually a risky thing to do. So instead, the smarter, safer approach is to carry a big, long mortgage. Invest the difference and don't bother trying to be in a hurry to pay it off. Here is reason number 11. You'll never get rid of your monthly payment no matter how hard you try. You want to eliminate your mortgage so that you don't have to make any payments? Well, too bad, because even if you somehow manage to eliminate your mortgage, you won't eliminate your payments. Oh sure, paying off your mortgage means you no longer make any principal or interest payments, but mortgage payments are known as PITI, and we've only addressed the P and the I, principal and interest. Let's not forget about the T and the other I, or the M and the R. I'm talking about taxes and insurance. Even if you manage to pay off the loan, you still have to pay property taxes and homeowner's insurance. So your goal of getting rid of the mortgage payment is impossible. And even if you eliminate the mortgage, you still have to make taxes and insurance payments. And as long as you own your house, you'll have M and R too, maintenance and repairs. So don't bother trying to make your mortgage go away. Instead, create wealth so that you can comfortably afford the cost of living and owning your home.